Danny, I don't feel like I've heard from you in a couple of days. Like, I was worried about you for a second.
Been busy, mate.
Jean was like, oh, so what's Danny up to? I'm like, I don't know. We haven't spoken in about 3 days. 3 days?
3 whole days. It was bliss.
What's going on? I was very lonely. Why is my phone not blowing up?
Just busy, man. Busy with the house move, packing all my stuff, and just, like, we had the wee man's birthday and that the weekend as well. So Harry was 3. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, will see that basically we were going to McDonald's for because Harry wanted to go to McDonald's for his birthday. So we went to McDonald's, and just as we're walking in, holding Frankie's hand, walking reasonably briskly to get onto the pathway, and he looks to, like, he said, "Oh, a bird!" Smacks right into a fence post. And now he's got a big massive black eye.
Officially hates birds for life.
So that was eventful. Just as we were walking into McDonald's, he was bawling his eyes out. There was a bit of blood because there was a cut on his eye. Yeah, it was just nightmare. So
not to steal Harry's thunder, but
no.
I picked up some donuts because Jean's last day in the office is tomorrow. So she bought a bunch of donuts for her team, and I was in a big car park, one of those NCP ones, big concrete bollards, and didn't realise that it's not normally an issue for me at 5'9", but these ceilings were quite low, and I clattered my head against the concrete bollard, and my head is pounded.
Sounds sore.
Yeah, I wish the signs were clearer.
Well, tell that to Frankie as well. You're 5'9". Are you sure?
What, you gonna tell me you're 5'9"?
No, I'm not 5'9".
I know you're not.
No. I'm not convinced you're 5'9".
No, I don't know.
You're maybe like 5'8.25" or something.
What are you like?
5'7.5".
Right, if you have to put a 0.5 in it.
Listen, I'll hold on to that 0.5 for dear life.
Well, look, I've been officially medically cleared at 5'9".
I don't think so.
Many experts.
That was a dodgy tape measure.
Wow, many experts have,
Did you have wee boosters in your shoes?
I mean, I might have been wearing these, to be fair.
There you go. That gives you at least another couple inches.
Well, maybe.
Probably like 5'6".
I don't know. 5'9", that's what's on the record, so. Yeah. If I go any lower, my BMI goes way up, so.
It's been mega busy. As you know, moving house, so just try to get all my stuff into boxes. Try and do a bit of editing when I can, but it's quite difficult because, like, the house is a riot. Like, it's really hard, like, mentally to try and go into, like, editing.
Yeah, big time.
It's really difficult.
I feel
because the space around me, because I'm editing in the kitchen, and there's just boxes everywhere. Like, even just try to get something like a glass of water or something like that, like climbing over a box to get to having to move out of the way to open the kitchen door. Like, just the whole house is an absolute shit pit.
Yeah, I mean, not only was I not getting messages from you, so I didn't feel like I was working, I haven't physically been in the office. Because my office was in the living room before, I always saw my computer kit around.
Yeah.
It'd been days since I'd seen my computer because I was just, like, painting and building stuff. So, yeah, it's hectic, but this is what happens when we move, so...
Yeah, not ideal in the middle of wedding season. Plus, obviously, we've got, like, podcast stuff and that we're trying to tick off as well at the same time. So it's just, there's just, like, a lot going on. But hopefully, like, in a couple of weeks, everything will, like, normalise and then we'll kind of, like, get back to it. I know we've been, like, really quiet on, like, socials as well. That's literally just because we've went through, like, 2 big life events. You've got another one coming up soon. So, yeah, I will pick up the slack once we've properly moved in. But it's exciting. So we're now, as of recording, it's like a week today. So so like a week today, it'll be like the last 15 minutes dash to get into the house. So to get out of the house, sorry. So
yeah, good fun. But I mean, I guess in times like this when we are super busy, when you get inquiries coming in, it's important that, any inquiry that comes in, they are really clear about what it is that you do and what you can offer for them.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Sorry,
cool.
I was laying you up
That's
there.
the end of the podcast. See you later, guys.
Laying you up there for Mr. Clarity.
Just be clear.
You missed my clear
segue
earlier as well. My
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Why? What was the segue?
Obviously, it wasn't very clear,
Well, obviously not.
but I used the word clear.
Well, you need to be a bit clearer.
Well, here's this. We're talking about clarity in your packages today. How's that for clear? Talk to me.
I don't understand. You're going to have to be a bit clearer about what you want to talk about here. No, I think I think it's something that I have, or both of us have kind of like came across, not only just like in looking at other people's packages and stuff, because you go onto people's websites and have a wee kind of gander, but also in like some of the kind of mentoring calls and stuff like that we've had as well. It's just like looking at people's like package structure and going, okay, if I wasn't in the industry and I was a prospective client, do I understand what you're offering? Which is super, super important. And I think that we can take it a little bit for granted sometimes because we're in the industry and we're like, okay, like doc edit. What is a doc edit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why, like, you've got firework coverage on there. Like, A, what is included in that? And B, like, why do I need it? Why do you not just cover the firework package? Oh, because fireworks are generally at, 11, half 11 or whatever. So that's extra coverage that's needed kind of thing, So it's just about being like super, super clear to reduce the amount of friction points. I think because as well, some clients will maybe be like wary of asking questions sometimes because they maybe don't want to seem a bit stupid, for lack of a better word, Not that it's stupid at all asking questions, if anything, you should encourage it, but if you kind of make them feel a bit uncomfortable about asking questions because your package structure isn't entirely clear, then that's another blocker because then they're not going to ask the question and they're probably going to move on to somebody else that maybe their packages are a bit more clearer,
Yeah. I think back in the day, anyone who displayed what they covered from their day, they would just list out every section of the day rather than the products they would get.
Like
so they would
first
get
dance,
cake cutting, guest arrival, morning prep. They would list every section of the day without actually, and maybe they'd say something, you get like an 8-minute film or something like that, but that'd just be overwhelmed. Like, yes, it lists out what happens on a wedding day, but like, why does that actually matter? Of course, if you're there in the day, you're going to get everything that happens in the day. We need to kind of simplify it and talk about what it is you're actually delivering. I think most people have kind of transferred to that. If you were to book a package holiday, you're gonna get told that you're gonna get a twin bed room, balcony view. You're gonna get all inclusive food, stuff like that. You're getting told what's included with that. But for us, we have to kind of go, right, doc edit, ceremony film. Like what is a doc edit? And everyone actually has different meanings for what that is. Like my doc edit is actually kind of different to other doc edits.
But I think that's also why it's important to be clear on it. Do you know what I mean? Because there could be assumptions that are made that then comes back to bite you on the bum. Do you know what I mean? Like later on down the road. Because they may have like looked at somebody's website and went, oh, doc edit includes this, this, and this, and then you hand them, what you hand them, and then they go, what is this? Yeah.
I guess in the decision-making process, you don't really want to cause overwhelm because any time that someone gets any sort of mental block, especially when there's a lot of choice, they're going to go for the easiest route most of the time, unless they absolutely want you. Have you seen Lumix have just announced another new camera, the S12?
Well, I have.
This camera is chock full of features that wedding videographers like you are going to love, including 5.1K open gate at 50 frames a second for the first time.
Incredible slow-mo footage at 100 frames a second in 4K.
Best in class image stabilization.
And also a new and improved hybrid phase detect autofocus.
You can get your hands on this camera by loaning it for up to 48 hours. Just visit the Lumix store.
And if you do decide that this is the camera for you, remember to use code TWVP at the Lumix store for 10% off. That's right, 10% off this brand new camera that we believe is the perfect camera for wedding filmmakers.
On my brochure, I have all my packages, and then beneath that, I've actually got a kind of a short blurb about what each thing actually is. So I'll go into detail like what a ceremony film looks like, what a doc edit looks like, what a 15-minute feature, what the difference between a 15-minute feature and a 6-minute highlight looks like. I kind of like talk to them, like when people ask that question, I always say like, think of 2 minutes of the chapter. If you've got a 6-minute film, think of morning, afternoon, evening. 6 minutes. That's 2 minutes you're getting each. That's kind of how I build the films. A 15-minute film, imagine you could break that up. So you've got the morning, you've got the anticipation of the ceremony, you've got the drinks reception, you've got the photos, you've got the, the speeches in the evening, then you've got the dancing. That's a clearer way for me to describe to them, oh, that's what you're going to get in this film, rather than sort of abridged version of it. So that's a way that I can explain what these films are in my brief description at the bottom of my brochure.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do, because I send out like the quote template and stuff like that from Studio Ninja. It's generally how I do it at the moment. That might change kind of like going forward, but it works. And I just kind of like have a little, kind of like a dash to explain, for instance, like what the feature film is. Like it's an extended highlight film. There's more of the day in there because there's 3 times the amount of time to play with. And it's more of a linear edit from morning prep to kind of, the dancing, whereas the highlight film is more like it can move about a bit more. There's more kind of creative freedom there.
Yeah.
Another thing actually that I do put in with the ceremony and speeches is that it's more because it's like as it happens, it's more it's not going to be as polished as the feature film and the highlight film, and obviously the reason for that is people can walk in front of cameras, yada yada yada, and it's the full thing from start to finish, just to give me that almost like get out of jail free card if something does happen. For instance, a guest stands in front of the camera or something like that you can't control. Do you know what I mean?
At what point do you say that to the couple?
Generally on the call.
Okay.
Yeah. So just kind of like say, like, listen, like that these are, because it's obviously like a live setting, they're probably not going to be as polished as as like, for instance, the feature film and the highlight film, just for those reasons, and they're normally fine with it. But it means that I've kind of got that bit of a get out of jail free if something does kind of like go wrong. Obviously you've got multiple cameras, so you would hope that nothing happens, but I think we've probably all had it before where somebody's standing in front of all cameras, or celebrant says, "Can you please stand for the vows?" or something like that, and you're like, "Oh my god," running about like a madman.
I am not liable for your celebrant blocking my view.
But yeah, just again, it's just about just being like super, super clear about, what is it they're getting, and how is that going to look. Obviously, you try and avoid things like that happening and mitigate the kind of anticipate where things might happen. But sometimes, for instance, like the celebrant telling them to stand for the vows, and you're like, what the
Yeah. I mean, it's never been more important to be clear than right now for me, because I've changed the way that I do my packages, and this may be something we can talk about more in the future if people are interested to hear more about this. But I've switched to an a la carte system. So basically they start with one film. It's my core highlight film, and if they want to add anything onto that, any film like a teaser, a ceremony, speech, feature, extra long highlight, they want to make their highlight longer, I have to explain to them what that is. So on our call, I have my form up and say, right, so have you look at these. Let's go through. Do you understand what these films are? And it's like, well, actually, we're interested to know what the difference between the raw footage is, and the feature film. And it's a great opportunity for me to then go, this is exactly what you can expect with that. And then afterwards, I can send them an example of what each one actually looks like. So they know exactly what it is. And of course, at that point, they can choose to add that to their package. The a la carte's been really good for me. I've only had it going for 2 weeks, and I've had 2 bookings that I've booked a lot more films because they actually understood what it was, and I made them excited about what those films actually looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we can talk about that in another podcast. That would be interesting, because I don't do that. And for me, there's reasons why I don't do that. But yeah, it'd be good to talk about, just a different way of doing things.
Yeah, 100%. But it is important to be clear. The fact that it gives me an opportunity to explain what they are and get them excited about it. It's easier to sell them on that idea. Still delivering your wedding films by USB?
Ew.
We use VidFlow, the sleekest platform for delivering your wedding films. It makes your couples feel like they've got their own private Netflix.
Plus, with their white labeling service, you can customize everything from the branding to the custom domain, so you can make it super personal.
Want to wow your clients? Use the code TWVP10 to get 10% off all pro plans, including white labeling service.
Head on over to vidflow.co today and level up your wedding film delivery experience.
Let's talk about backlog.
Woo!
Editing piles up fast. and it's overwhelming.
That's why we use brideandgroom.video, a wedding editing company that delivers stunning wedding films faster without compromising on quality.
If you're looking for an editor that's going to match your unique style so it feels like you've made them, you found them.
Use code TWVP75 at checkout to get £75 off your first order and try out their service.
Clear your backlog and grow your business. Try brideandgroom.video today.
Hasta la vista, backlog. Historically, when I've had a question, noticed a pattern of a question appearing, that's when I'll like make it super clear on maybe like the email that I send or, you know, the quote template. I'll put in more information just to make it super clear. I think one of them was like Super 8, and they were, oh, that'd be great to get like Super 8, the kind of like of like a full kind of like Super 8 film. And I was like, okay, just to be clear, it's 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's very expensive. You know, you're talking maybe like about 180 quid just for the film and the processing. So like that's not going to be like the full day shot. You'll get maybe like clips here and there of the day, but you're not getting full Super 8 coverage.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, like the fireworks one was like another one, because I had a couple of people saying, but if you're, because I say it's kind of like the full day coverage from kind of like morning prep to the dancing, and they're kind of, why would we need to add on the fireworks, because you're not going to be there for it? I'm like, no. No.
Yeah. I think some people will expect that, oh, during your break, that's not included in the hours. Like I'm booked for an associate shoot in a couple of months, and I had my introduction questionnaire sent out to them and asked them, what is it that you're really looking for from this film? Because it's an associate, but essentially I take charge of the edit with that. They're like, okay, we really want to cover everything from the morning, you know, capture the vibes for the morning up until like one of the last dances. And I'm like, you booked a 4-hour package. At some point, the explanation is not being made clear here about what you're what you expect and what you've actually purchased.
That's a prime example, though. Yeah. And obviously, there can be like there can be outliers to that, can't there? Because like there's people that just don't read.
No,
like so it can happen sometimes. But I think if you start to see a bit of a pattern emerging, where you get the same question asked constantly, then it's probably time to update what is on your website and what is in your package, kind of like brochure or whatever you send out to clients. I think that's when you have a kind of telltale sign, okay, like let's fix this and give them more information so it's super clear, you know?
So I think, you know, something to take away from this, if you're not sure if your packages are clear or not, maybe send it to a friend that doesn't have any skin in the game. Get them to read through it and then ask them questions as if you're booking them. Like, if they can sell you your packages, that's a great opportunity for you to go, okay, so what is, like, they might not be able to explain what a 5-minute film looks like, but getting someone else to look at it that doesn't necessarily know what is going on, if they can make sense of what you're offering, then, you know, most people will. And then that is a deciding factor when it comes to couples when they want to go down the booking process, because you can confuse the hell out of them and they just put it down and come back to it another day.
It's so easy to do, though, because I know I've probably talked myself out of bookings like very early, when I was very early on in the process, because I was all over the shop. Like, because I probably wasn't 100% clear with what I was offering. Like, I think you need to be super clear on everything that you're offering the client so that you can articulate that, for instance, on the call or whatever. Because as soon as they start asking questions, and if you start fumbling and you're all over the shot, it just doesn't give them any security or confidence that you are going to be the person that's going to, you know, capture one of the most important days of their life, you know?
Yeah. And also on calls, if you are talking all the time, it can be information overload. So don't just tell them everything. Find out what's important to them. Find out what is it that they're confused about. Give them the opportunity to go, is there anything on here, this brochure, that you'd like to ask?
Yeah.
And then you can just focus in on that. And then they have the answers they need.
Yeah, give them the permission to ask the question.
Yeah. Don't just talk at them for half an hour, because it will not help your case.
No.
At all.
No, it doesn't at all.
Cool. So is that clear? Clear enough for you? Good.
Yeah, a little bit of a shorter one today, just because life is super, super busy. So we're just obviously like coming into the studio, quickly record a podcast. Hope you got something out of it. If you do have any questions, or if you want to go, hey, Danny, Jase, can you have a wee read of this over the packages and let me know? Do you think it's clear? Send it along, and we're more than happy to give you some feedback on that.
We might be busy, but we love helping. So we'd love to look at your packages.
Yeah, we're still replying to DMs. We're still replying to DMs that come in. Thank you for sending them our way. Just like on gear recommendations or like where to get this or, you know, like I think we've had a couple recently just on like kind of like MacBook specs for like editing and stuff and like audio recommendations. Which actually I've recently just picked up one of the tentacle trackies.
I saw you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
really good.
That's high tech.
32-bit folk can listen to it, can monitor it using your AirPods with your mobile. It's like class, so good. Better than a Tascam.
Such a gearhead.
Yeah.
Honestly.
But we can talk about that in another podcast. But yeah, I think that's us for this week.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, you can DM us. You can also join our Discord group, which is still, ticking over. If you want people in the Discord, if you want to share your brochures on there for us all to have a wee look at and sort of, help critique, we're all about helping people push forward. Feel free to do that. But yeah, you can join the Discord by the link on our Instagram page as well. But yeah, hope to see you there. Yep. Anyway, that has been That Wedding Videographer Podcast. I've been Jase.
I've been Gavin.
See you next week.